Do you still think it's the same? Like, to the standard that you have today of evolving and changing who you are?
Let's see
Because I
what
think that's another
Samantha
thing
Lee
too,
got to
right? Like,
say.
I think at different parts of our life, we just have different tolerance levels. We have different skill sets. We just know more. Knowing what you know today, do you still think and hold yourself to the standard that you've exhausted all that you possibly could have?
Go ahead, give us that
I'm
line
gonna think about
answer.
this deeply too. I want you
I would
to have
like you
like
to.
a real
Go ahead,
answer
give us
for
that
me,
cap answer.
not a.
What do you gotta say?
I think I could have waited longer. I openly say that. I openly say that I could have waited. I could have been a little bit more patient with that. Like I had my what I said. I could have waited. Right. I could have taken a pause and given it time. And maybe he was reacting to what I was saying, and he was upset with what I was. He was. He's an emotional person as well. We're both feeling very strongly about
Don't
each
talk
other.
about Tyrese like
and
that.
feeling very strongly about what we wanted. And to be fair, I can see in that moment him being upset and saying no and not really meaning that, right? Like maybe it was just like I'm just like you highly upset you made a decision. I'm highly upset I made a decision.
Right.
Or I said something, but right?
Just a reaction.
Right, as a reaction. So I could have been open and more patient to that. But do I think that as far as what efforts I put in to make it work, did I do as much as I possibly could? Absolutely. I could have been more patient. That didn't require me doing, but being.
So we're gonna stop it right here. Make sure y'all check out my live streams. By the way, we talk about this in detail. So Samantha Lee, you did not do everything that you needed to do. You just said it. You weren't patient. You could have been more patient. That, my friend, is your answer.
Sensational.
So why do I stop it on this particular part of it? I think there's a very important part in this particular thing that she says. And I've been saying this for a few years now. When I think about marriages, and I think marriages aren't lasting long enough because I'll say this first. People aren't staying long enough, but also because women are deciding to quit too early.
Sensational.
We know that the average, it's 70% women are initiating the divorces and 90% if they're college educated. What? I just believe that women are not staying long enough in a relationship. They say that the average marriage is about 8 years. The toughest years are 5 through 7. By that time, you have gotten what? You and your husband have gotten a house together, 1 or 2 kids by this time, some of you 3. Y'all just start getting into your careers. Y'all trying to work things out. Y'all are in the first quarter of the game. And women are quitting. What? I don't think that women are looking at the pros and cons of their relationship. They're looking at it from more of an emotional standpoint. I'm unhappy. He doesn't do this, X, Y, and Z. But if you look at the pros and the cons, like they used to do back in school, right? Remember those little 2 circles we used to have to figure out what was better, and in the middle we had to figure out what was the same? If they did more of that, they would stay in these relationships. Because getting out here in the dating world like Tia Mowry, and then they're like, oh, the dating world is trash and it's not the same and men aren't courting.
Sensational.
But you're leaving a man who has your children, who's looking to take care of you. And after a while, men just say, forget it. Leave. Do what you want to do. Men cope and men adjust. That's how we are. That's how we're going to be. Right? Most real men. They just cope and adjust. If that's what you want to do, forget it. Right? We go fight only for so long. I just believe that women are not staying long enough in relationships and they're quitting because they believe that they can just have a better world without the man. And yes, you will get attention, ladies.
Sensational.
Just like Samantha Lee. Come on now, let's be real, man. Most men can look at her and say, she's a beautiful woman. She's beautiful. But at the end of the day, what does being a beautiful and cute woman mean out here when you can't keep and sustain a man? You can't keep a man. You're going from one situation to the next, and you're not getting exactly what you want. So being patient is the thing that she could have done more of. So she did not exercise all her options because she didn't exercise patience.
Sensational.
Most women should start exercising patience, taking that walk outside instead of making hasty emotional decisions, and think about, listen, I know that James is super annoying and he does this and he does that, but what does he do that is good, right? Does he take care of me? Does he keep me safe? Does he take care of his children? Right? Is he being the best man that he can be? Right? Is he being faithful to me? Right? Even if the mistakes that he's made, has he changed his behavior? Because now if you think about everything else out there, it's worse out there.
Sensational.
It's worse out there. So it is what it is. I'm just saying that women, you need to start looking more in your situations if you're married and look and see what's good and what's not, and then see what's out there. Because what's out there may not really be what you want. Definitely if you're going out there with children. See, here's the reality of it right now, right? And I got to be real with you guys. When a man has a child, it's a little bit different for him to maneuver out in the dating world, right? But when a woman has a child, it's different as well. Most of the time, she can't do as much because she's always with the kid, right? She has to always maneuver around the kid. If that man is on child support and he gets that weekend off or whatever he gets, he can maneuver and move. But then also, he's a man that can support a family. So the women look at him different. When he's out in the dating world, his value doesn't really go down as much. But from a woman's standpoint, when you're out there, you're in your 40s, you got children, you got a failed marriage, and you're struggling, you're not looked at like you are in your 20s. What? When you have pretty much beauty and everything to bring and youth and all that stuff, you're not looked at the same. So when you're in your late 30s and 40s and you're talking about divorcing someone and trying to get into another relationship, look at it. You're going to find other men that are just looking at you as like, listen, man, I just want a relationship. I don't really want to get into all this marriage stuff. I'm just looking for a good time, not a long time. All right? I'm just saying. She said something that I've been saying for years, and I just don't think that women are patient enough. And the funny thing about it is women are very patient with their children. Women are very patient with a lot of things that they love, but are they very patient with their man? Interesting. All right. I just thought I'd just throw that off there. She said something that I thought was good enough to react to. So Samantha Lee, I think you have officially played yourself. You had a high value man. And I'm not really into the high value talk, but Tyrese is a high value man, a man of options. He's a big artist, an actor, right? I mean, he's got things going for himself, right? He seems to be a good man, a good father. He seems to take care of himself. And now you're out here running on podcasts. And of course, like I said, she's a beautiful woman. So will she find another man? Probably. But it's not about finding another man, women. It's about having the right man by your side, taking care of you, and making you the best version of yourself. What? See, the man that she might be with may not make her the best version of herself. She might have all the things that she wants and all that stuff, but she may not be loved the same. Just saying. Whatever. Make sure y'all check out the Cold Summer Podcast live streams. I'm actually going to go live today. We get live over there, man. We get lit. We turn that into a party over there. So, like I say after every video, that this is chess, not checkers. And I'm going to see y'all at work.
It's going to be a cold summer.